you want to do something with ice management next year is they put a cursory amount in, and this represents our share of that cursory amount, with the full amount being, in the range that's shown below.
Right. Rivermouth dredging. Annual dredging of the old river, and annual river maintenance program.
Well, I'm all for the annual river maintenance program.
Councillor Russell, I hit your hand up.
Yeah, I got an emergent motion on this one. He's got it. Give it to him.
You want it back?
Yeah. From the November 5th delegation. Basically, forget about ice management and annual. This is right now from the safety point of view. This is where I'm addressing. Staff be instructed to proceed with emergency cleanup of trees, deadheads, and gravel ridges in the Salvo River Channel and dredging a good opening to the lake at Port Franks with an upset limit of $100,000, and that council help in expediting all permits to this cleanup by lobbying the necessary provincial ministries. That would be right now.
We better have a spot for emergent issues if we're going to follow the rules.
Just wanted to tell you, right when we were discussing this, that I had that.
Okay, so all these other things can be put on the at the medium range because it's going to take that to go to them.
Yeah,
That's
good.
Okay.
Because I didn't think up to 100,000. Somebody gave me that figure. I don't know who.
Okay.
Good. Good, it's realistic.
Okay, so we've kind of gone through all those. Brent, do you have enough information there?
No, that's great. And the rec master plan, it's just following through on a request from council to put the projects in the recreation master plan into prioritizing over a 10-year period. So this just shows that, and when the capital plan comes forward this year, it'll reflect this as well.
Okay.
Good.
Deputy Mayor to ask a question.
Yeah, through to Brent. Brent, council expressed an interest in the possible investment into a large garbage pickup.
Yes.
Because of the priority that people have for that. And I don't see that included. So
It's not here because we don't have the costing yet, and I see that more as an operating budget consideration. Jeff's just collecting some information from other municipalities that do it, and we expect to have a report before the end of the year.
Excellent. Good.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right on.
Okay. I don't know whether we helped with the budget process. Opportunity for emergent issue to be discussed by council. Is there a motion that we receive emergent issue? Council Russell.
I'll move we receive an emergent issue.
Second.
Second by Councillor Underwood. All in favor? Your motion is that we spend $100,000 and
No, not to spend 100,000. I talked to Brent about
Up
this
to
last
100,000.
week because Lori's
Yep.
away and he's doing all the work and we're just staying away until it's time to
Yep.
have a discussion with him. Right? But in discussing with him, I said, what about the presentation about safety? Because me living down there for a lot of years and understanding it's a safety issue in terms of the ice jam. I'm looking in February. That's what I'm looking at January, February. Yeah, it's weird. But it depends on the problem I'm seeing is not, and these guys didn't get into it, but this is the reality of the situation. The ice jam study shows it, that the less draft we have for a boat also is bad for ice jamming because you want that river water underneath to be flowing underneath, which keeps the ice reduced. And as the river goes down, and in a dynamic river like that, which is sand, and if you have ridges, they build up, and you put all your deadheads and everything, silt over the next little while is going to build up, and then you don't have the flow underneath. So what we're going to end up with, if we have a solid freezing time, whatever that time, Mr. Mayor, that ice is going to maybe bottom out, and the fact that we have all these places for it to bunch up, we may have I think they were quite right. There's the potential for a large flood this year.
don't disagree.
And I think that's where this comes from. I think Brent's doing a great job building the whole case for a plan, obviously with the Salvo and all these things, right? I'm just saying upset, he just happened to have the 100,000 because he did into this. And I said, what type of figure? I haven't got a clue, so that's why I said that.
So your motion is that
Dredging of the trees, or cleanup of the trees, deadheads, gravel ridges, because it was identified there's 3 or 4 of them, and They occupy that whole channel thing, so that flushing can happen. And the opening, like, I don't understand that, the dredging point, but just the fact of, right now, it's starting to creep toward, it's going toward Windsor Park. It needs some dredging right at the mouth where that sand is gone. It's gotta be gone.
Gotta move it.
Yeah,
So
it has to
can-
be moved.
I guess the question is, can we do this, and where's the 100,000 come from?
Nice ask, Dan.
Yeah,
The
we
technical,
have a seconder for the motion first, Councillor Scott.
obviously would be dependent upon the permits, and
Yeah.
I believe Councilor Russell's motion speaks to what happens if we don't get permits.
Once those turtles bury themselves in the sand, you can't dig. Maybe we can do some of the areas of the money. So.
Well, emergency designation, we did talk about that, that's why I put that in there. In the past, I've accompanied the mayor to Toronto, and we've done the necessary lobbying to overcome the log jams that the ministry has put in front of them, because they have to apply the law. That's all they're doing, is
It's
applying the
still
law.
Crown Line, the riverbed, right? Well, no, but what we're talking about right now is.
John?
Just with respect to how we're gonna finance that.
Yeah.
We recognize that this is something, an exceptional situation, and often these will occur occasionally. And what a council recognizes is when we do the year-end reports, saying we're over budget by $100,000, you know what the rationale was for that. We try to, make provision for that in the subsequent year. It's a catch-up thing, but some of these things just require action.
Deputy Mayor,
Yes, just through you to Janet, I noticed that we had a number of budget items that came in under budget, and wondering if that source of funds can go towards something like this.
that work out where it comes from.
Well, there's a year-to-date coming up the next meeting, you'll get a further update on it on the council, the projects this year, but there were some that were redirected as well, so
Already.
any recognized savings may have been already redirected, so.
Some other things are over budget as well. Okay, all in favor of that motion? Carried. Councillor Scott?
I've had a number of phone calls about our November the 19th meeting, and I sent an email to everybody asking that we have a couple police officers there, so that we as council and staff are protected. There is going to be quite a bit of lobbying happening at the turbine meeting, and there have been some warnings given to me so that I need to know. So I would really like to put a motion forward that we hire 2 OPP officers to be there for the day.
We shouldn't have to hire OPP officers, they'll be on duty, so we can notify them that there's a meeting going on. It is a regular council meeting, we've talked about that different times. There'll be delegations, and the report is for council discussion. It's not a public meeting, it's a public meeting it's a meeting that's open to the public, but it has not been advertised as a public meeting per se, where there will be presentations and members of the public will be in discussion with council members back and forth. It's the same as this council meeting.
I understand that, but I also understood that this meeting was totally to deal with the report on the turbines, and maybe we have to.
No, this is a regular council meeting that's moved to a bigger location.
Well,
That's
if it's a
not
regular
what we
council meeting, why are we moving it to a bigger location?
But
What was the request? That was the request.
No.
to accommodate.
We're gonna have
Okay,
people there for a special meeting.
I'd like council to really reconsider what Councillor Scott is saying, because I think she's bang on. This is a hot issue. We have had delegations here on wind. We have had people come here on wind demanding why we haven't done what other municipalities have done. Why are we so late? There will be an expectation, I think, on Monday night, from a number of people attending that meeting, that we are going to deal substantively with development issues. And if we start getting into delegations and housekeeping items, I think you're going to incite that crowd to say, what are you doing? If we have to have a half hour, 45 minutes of public discussion at the end of it, so be it. This has been a huge controversial issue, and to turn that into a regular council meeting and subject delegations to 200 people sitting out there waiting to hear about it, I think is wrong-headed, personally.
Whatever you guys decide on, but it's been talked about at this meeting prior that this is a regular council meeting. We have a full agenda with a number of reports to be dealt with. The report on wind turbines is just one of them. That was not the direction that was given.